How's it going? My name is Ricky and I'm the home buying specialist at Medina Buys Houses. I wanted to cover a really common question that I hear people ask us all the time. And that question is, why would anybody in their right mind take a cash offer? We know that in Southern California, real estate is really hot and you can get top dollar for virtually any property here. So why would anybody sell their home to an investor? And that usually kind of implies that if somebody sells their house to an investor, that they're being scammed or they're being duped or they're being misled or taken advantage of. And I wanted to cover some scenarios where that might make sense, because it doesn't always make sense to sell on the open market. One particular scenario is when a family member inherits a property. They might live out of state or they might not live close to the house, and the property's been vacant for 10 plus years, which we've definitely seen, or it's been vacant, or it was occupied by tenants and the tenants trashed the place. Imagine living in Texas. You have a property that has a pool in California, massive liability. You don't know what's going on there. You don't have the time or the resources to go over there and fix it, interview an agent. In that scenario, it makes sense to just get somebody who can buy the property and take care of the problem for you. Same thing with landlords. We have people who, as they've gotten older, their ability to manage tenants has diminished. And then there's big fixes with the property that's required. And when you put a property on the market, you gotta have, you have to fix up the property somewhat in order for it to gain financing. A typical buyer needs to get a loan on a property, and if there's a major problem with the property, then the bank won't fund the loan. So a homeowner has to make certain fixes to the property, otherwise they have to get a cash buyer to buy their house. And a cash buyer is always going to be less than what market value is. So when somebody contacts us, what they're really looking for is not top dollar, but rather the speed and convenience and the peace of mind of knowing that they can just sell the property. They know it's not going to sit on the market for 3 months, and they can be rid of the headache or whatever frustration that the property is causing them, and they can move on with their life. So I hope that answers your question. There's a little bit more to it, but I can cover that in future videos. But just to give you just a taste of why somebody would take it, it's number one, it's speed and convenience. You save a lot of time, and sometimes time is more value than getting the absolute top dollar for your property. Thanks.